Hello, everybody. Welcome to V's Vibes. Well, hopefully we can catch a vibe, talk about anything y'all want to talk about. I want to talk about. I'm about to leave work, but I did want to do a quick video. So stay tuned. Chop it up. Let's go.
That's a vibe. She wanna vibe. That's a vibe. Yeah. That's a vibe.
Yeah, I posted something to Facebook the other day, and it was a quote that said how beautiful it is to stay silent when someone wants you to be enraged. And I also put down that that was my superpower. Like, I have a real even kill personality. Even when people like off the chain, I just be like, you done? You finished, or is you done? So I want to talk about that. Let's talk about that. So again, the quote says, how beautiful it is to stay silent when someone wants you to be enraged. And to understand my perspective on that quote, you have to kind of understand my perspective on showing anger. So my perspective on showing anger, I feel like if you show anger, it's kind of like not having self-control. And I know a lot of people not gonna agree, and we get angry every day, right? But I feel like when someone is intentionally trying to make you frustrated and angry and to respond a certain way, and you know that they're intentionally doing it because you know that whatever, you know, the cause of their frustration is not rooted in truth, it's not rooted in you know, whatever your intentions were behind the behavior, then I feel like we got to be bigger than that. Like, we got to be more aware. We have to be more strategic in how we respond. And if I know somebody's trying to piss me off and I get pissed off, then that's on me. That's on me. That's just that's just kind of like my personal perspective on it. I'm no saint by a long shot. I make mistakes and I do get angry. But oftentimes I internalize anger, which is probably not healthy. And maybe those people that kind of show they're angry and express it, maybe they have a healthier life, or at least a healthier mental life. But it has worked for me this long, and a lot of times it's really, really easy for me to de-escalate conflict because both of us aren't here. You know what I mean? Generally the person is here and I'm like way down here. Like, I'm not even close to where they are. So it's worked for me this long. Not that I'm perfect and not that that's the best response, but for me it works because I really try to be strategic in how I respond to it. So one of the first things I do when someone gets super angry at something that I do or something that I say, I always think back to, what are they trying to get me to believe, right? Because especially if I know that whatever I said or whatever I did was rooted in truth, which most times it is. Most times I'm not perfect. I could be shady boots sometimes or petty, but most times decisions that I make, especially professionally, and 95.6% personally, are going to be rooted in truth. I'm trying to think, what do they want me to believe about them? Because most times anger comes up because the person is upset that you don't believe what they want you to believe about them. And so that's my first step. My second step is going to always be to reflect on what I did. Like, I'm always going to reflect on what I did. So the second thing is always going to be to reflect, and maybe that's the first thing I reflect, and then I think about what people want me to believe. But reflection is a huge piece of just de-escalating conflict or understanding what someone is feeling. I try to really, really understand what some people are feeling, but oftentimes I don't have conflict with people that are honest. I don't have conflict with people that are their decisions and their behavior is rooted in truth. I have conflict with people that just are telling a lie and they want me to believe it and mad because I don't believe it. So I try to be reflective, just because I don't want to ever come across as insensitive or not compassionate or not empathetic or sympathetic to someone's feelings. So that's the second thing I do. I reflect. So like I was saying, because I really don't have conflict with like people that's telling the truth, the third thing that I normally do is realize that this is not about me. Like people's frustrations, people's weight they carry, and how they express anger and how they communicate a lot of times has to do with so many other factors other than the subject at hand. And I have to tell myself often, like, this has nothing to do with me, and I cannot take it personally. I don't know. I cannot stress that part enough, how important it is to take yourself out of it. And I'm not saying not take responsibility and not reflect on what maybe you could have done to make the situation better. But most times, people with deep-rooted issues, it has nothing to do with you. It's all to do with kind of them, their perspective. They can be having troubles at home, troubles in different relationships. It's not you. So I'll say step 4 is going to be to combat, escalated behaviors, combat anger, combat someone's frustration with you with facts. You got to combat it with facts, not with emotions, not with how you feel, but with black and white. Because women lie, men lie. Numbers and factual information that can be proven does not lie. And so there's really no reason for me to get upset when black and white says this happened, or I saw this with my eyes, or this is the data. Basically, a lot of my job has to do with looking at numbers and analyzing data to help folks improve. And so whenever there's a conflict, not at work in particularly, but just whenever there's a conflict or someone is super mad at me about something. So if someone is super mad about something, then it's always good to kind of say, hey, according to this, or according to what you said, or according to what I saw, A, B, and C. And it's really hard for people, although some people still try to do it. It's really hard to like be angry at something once you remind someone of something that they said, because generally they'll kind of fizzle down a little bit, or they will try to say that they didn't say it, which will cause probably more frustration. But I do think it's one of my superpowers, because I just really don't let people get me too upset. And if they do get me upset, they'll never know they get me upset. And my responses are always rooted in facts. My responses are always rooted in just being real, being honest. I try not to live in emotions, because that just doesn't get us anywhere. I mean, of course we're human, we're emotional beings, but of course we're human, we're emotional beings, and we're gonna get in our feelings every now and then. But the best way to de-escalate conflict, in my experience, is to remember that it's not about you. Think about what they really want you to believe about them. Reflect on what you said. Like, you could have made a mistake, you could have said something insensitive, and always refer back to the facts, refer back to data, refer back to what people said, refer back to what they did and what you actually observed, what you saw. You cannot go wrong, and you really just gotta chill. Like, life is too short to really be walking around mad or allowing people to get you to a place where you don't want to be. I mean, unless you just want to be mad, unless you just want to walk around mad, that's gonna be up to you. I know I'm moving the camera. Hope you're not getting dizzy. That's all I got, man. I appreciate y'all listening. It's a vibe, as always. Positive vibes only. I want you in the comments. This is what I need. You listening? That's what I need. I need you to drop, what's your superpower?
That's a vibe. She wanna vibe. That's a vibe. Yeah. That's a vibe.